bevo.com.
Could you give us 2 or 3 ways for a company to build massive publicity or marketing exposure, but without necessarily having to have a massive marketing budget?
Well, every company that starts has a budget problem in the marketing department. In other words, it doesn't matter how much money you have to start with, your revenues are always less than your marketing budget. So every company no matter how well funded it is, it will have at the beginning a marketing problem. So the best way to do it, to solve that problem, to actually become known without spending a fortune on advertising, is free publicity. Now, you have to remember that the media like to talk about people, not companies. So the best thing you can do is personalize your company, put your name and your face on the product. The media are more likely to follow up a story about people rather than companies. Anonymous, faceless companies are less liked, they're less relevant, especially if they're startups and people haven't heard of them. And if you say, my name is X and I'm doing this, they're more likely to listen than XYZ Corporation, I've never heard of you, we're trying to sell Y. Yeah. The other thing, of course, is never shy away from controversy. You can choose how much controversy you go into, but something I found and suits my style is basically look around your industry and find the big boys and pick a fight with them. Taking on the big boys is what I do for a living, and I keep doing it in industry after industry, and it has never failed me in the sense that the media love a David and Goliath story.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, in the past you've taken on the industry giants and you've won. For example,
sometimes I lose, but it doesn't matter. Still, it's the taking part that counts.
That's right. For example, the flag carriers in the airline business. Could you give any tips to entrepreneurs on how to actually win in a market that's already established with significant players?
The irony about the airline industry is that there was a window of opportunity back in the mid-90s. I mean, the last thing I would advise anybody today is to start an airline. Yes, I'm conflicted, I'm biased. I'm a shareholder in EasyJet, so I don't want any more competitors. But I was lucky to have been at the right time at the right place, where an industry that has been regulated heavily by the governments had grown lazy, basically. So it was inefficient because it was a series of state-owned national flag carriers, monopolies, and therefore they become very inefficient. And it's not that I invented the new business model, but in America with deregulation, someone had a better idea on how to do things on short-haul point-to-point flights. That company is Southwest Airlines, by the way. That became my prototype. And EasyJet and I have to admit Ryanair were amongst the first to do it in Europe. So it was a question of having an efficiency in a market and then moving in with a new business model. If you can spot a market like that, go for it. It's likely to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. In most other occasions, you're just trying to find a niche and trying to sort of survive before they put you out of business.
bevo.com